All right, guys, gonna jump right into this one. Today, we have a 2012 Ford Escape. This one actually has a 2.5 inline four. This is Mike's mother-in-law's vehicle. He's gonna be helping me today. Problem is, it's running rough when he puts it in drive, sitting at a light. Go ahead, Mike, put it in drive. And you see the whole thing start shaking. Everything's shaking real bad. So we're gonna try to fix that with mass airflow sensor and throttle body sensor. See if it fixes it. We'll let y'all know. All right, so we're gonna start with taking the battery terminal off since we're messing with electronics. And then we'll get the intake hose off and the sensors. I'll move y'all in for that. All right. Battery's off. Where's that 5/16? By the way, battery terminal is an 8. And then these 5/16 for your intake hose. Probably go ahead and get the actually, Mike, you want to find a pair of pliers? We'll get that hose off. And then learn how to do these real quick. So, without breaking it. So that pops out. Need a little flathead and I can pop that out and then that'll come off. He's grabbing a flathead. I'm going to get this hose for the vacuum line off. Be gentle with all that stuff. Okay, so that everything pushes down. There it is. Let me get this off so I can show y'all how that came off. So for this line, on the back side there's a little clip. If you pull that out, it'll come off. A little tab right there. All right. There's our intake hose. All right, let me move y'all in a little closer. You can see what we're doing with the throttle body and the mass airflow sensor. All right, so I get the airflow sensor out. Looks like. All right, so you just pry that red tab up, and you should be able to pry the black clip out then and get it up. There we go. So, pry the red tab up, push in here, not pull out like I was doing, and it'll come off. And then, if you see in there, airflow sensor is inside of there. It looks different than the one I set that aside. We'll clean that after we get the throttle body off too. And looking at the throttle body, I'll say that is 4 8mm bolts holding that on. It looks like this is going into plastic, so I'm going to slowly loosen them in a cross pattern. I don't want to crack one of those plastic flanges with bolts.
And then pick up the gasket.
Yeah, hopefully the gasket's good because he didn't get a gasket. That makes it stay in there. There's the same style clip on this. That little red tab you got to pry up, but I'm hoping I can get it loose and get better access to it because it's kind of up against the fans on the radiator. this don't fix it, Mike. Could be a full fuel delivery problem too. Clogged fuel filter or anything. But that's we'll start with there.
This was the cheapest.
Yeah, this is a lot cheaper. And not that hard to do. Oh, the gasket looks good. Yep, gasket looks pretty good. It's just, that rubber blue O-ring in there. I'll have to take y'all in so you can see it after I get my big hand out of the way. And these, before I lose them, drop those down and not hear them hit the ground. There we go. Alright, so right there is that clip. We're going to pry that red tab up. Okay. Okay. There we go. So that clip goes right here toward the radiator. She's pretty dirty. Alright, we're probably going to move y'all to where we're cleaning it. And be back with y'all. Alright guys, we're going to jump right into the throttle body. And just so y'all know what we're using. Throttle body, air intake. Alright. So, I'm going to try to stay away from the electrical. I think it'll be fine. It should be sealed. Looks like there's a gasket in there. But we're mainly just wanting to clean all this out. And it's working pretty dang good. Look at that. Wow. You can see from the table and from that's with no scrubbing. That's just spraying it out. Stuff is strong though. Alright, I'm going to put a marker in there to hold it open so I can get around the outside of the butterfly there. Alright, now I'm just trying to wipe out some of the excess stuff because it got pretty clean just off of spraying it. Actually use that to clean up some of that gasket surface too. It works pretty good. Alright. So let me move the marker and I'll show you all what I've got here. So that ain't bad. I think we can do a little better. Still got a little bit right in the bottom there, but it's not bad. Let's see if we can get it clean. I'll show you on my table when we get done. Actually looking pretty spotless.
I think it only has 90,000 miles on it.
I don't know if y'all heard that. He said it only has 90,000. I actually used to own one of these Ford Escapes. Well, my wife did. And hers was a 2010. And it actually had a recall issue with the throttle body. And it went into limp mode. I think they fixed it for this year. Like I said, the table's pretty nasty, but as you can see, the thing looks brand new now. And that was the side I showed you in the beginning. That was all brown and crusty, carbon buildup. That's pretty good. Today's fuel, you know, it's real good for vehicles. I'm actually finding guys would soak the rag with a little bit of it. Actually works to get into those tight spots. That's pretty good. Well, that might be the judge because it's not my mother-in-law's car. There you go. What do you think, Mike?
Looks good.
Looks good. Seal of approval. The seal's real good. You can't see any daylight through there. All right, so that's done. Next, we're going to very gently clean out the mass airflow sensor. And by clean out, I'm probably just going to spray it a couple times in there because, you know, look in there, you can see the little sensor in there. I don't want to douse that thing, even though we're going to be using mass airflow sensor, which right there. Mass airflow sensor cleaner, and it says safe. So, hot plate and plastic, hot wire. All right. So, I'm just going to try spraying a little bit inside there, cleaning that stuff out, and then I'll probably, it looks like there's little orifices on this side of it, on this side, on that metal plate side. And I'm going to see if those are dirty, but I don't want to be too rough with this thing. So. And it actually is coming out of those little, I don't know if y'all can see that when I'm shooting in there, but it comes out of that little hole in there. So that is probably something that needs to be cleaned. Okay, that's about all I want to do with that. So next, we'll put it in the car. I'll show you guys us putting it back in, and we'll see if it fixed everything. Just figured I'd give you all a better view on how that throttle body bolts up. Like I said, there's your 4 bolts. There's your rubber seal. We're actually probably going to put I'm going to get a little bit of, and I mean a little bit of assembly lube just to lubricate this and put it around that seal. You can use oil if you wanted, but I have assembly lube right here. I feel like that'd be good. I'm just going to lubricate that to give it a fighting chance. And then there's that clip I was talking about, same as it is on the mass airflow sensor. Just stick you a flathead in there. Don't pry it too hard. It comes right up. Pry that up. And you can push that little plastic tab in right there. And it'll pop off. But I want to give you all a close-up of how that thing went in there before we get it down in there. I'm going to move y'all back to the All right, so let's get started here. Get a little bit of assembly lube on my finger. Real clean finger, by the way. And then I'm just going to lightly lubricate that over. And just, like I said, it's the original one. That rubber gets dry over time. And that'll just help give it a chance to reseal. All right, you got them bolts, Mike, for the throttle body?
Yes, I do.
All right, and same way it came off, I'm going to plug it in first. Just so I'm not fighting back there up against the fan. And then you should be able to push that clip back down once you get it in. Once you get it in all the way, I'll be the judge of that. Seeing how it works there. So the red clip does take a little bit of force to put back down, and we did clean the face of this up. Just so y'all know, you want to, just like oiling the O-ring, you want to give it a fighting chance. Clean that up. All right. And I don't have torque specs for any of this stuff, but going into plastic on that intake, how it is, I ain't gonna go real tight. I got a 1/4 inch ratchet, so. And same thing, cross pattern when I go to tighten it up. But we did do a little bit of reading before this, and this seems to be what everyone recommends, probably because it's cheap. It ain't that bad. How much was all this stuff you bought, Mike?
30 some dollars.
30 bucks.
But I bought 2 of everything.
So that ain't too bad if it works. And as you can see in the video, it don't take that long. And luckily on the 4-cylinder, everything's easy to get to. I think on my wife, she had a 3.0 and it was right here, so that was easy to get to. All right. And that's an O-ring, so you don't really have to kill this thing, so that's probably good. You do not want to break that intake, because that would be a lot more than $30. Make sure your filter is in all the way in there, and make sure y'all got a good angle of that. Yep. our filter is in there. You can't really see it from this angle, but make sure your filter's all the way in. And I want to mention that it wasn't throwing any codes or anything, but just resetting your computer so it resets those sensors. Unplugging the battery will also help with that. And by the time you're done with the job, the computer should be reset. And now you'll get a good view of that. That one actually went in pretty easy. All right, let's get her. And we're both not sure what this is going on here. So but that's definitely not factory.
Oh, open it up.
It's a fuse. I'll open up the fuse.
Yeah.
It's not blown. And it's a 10 amp, so it can't be going anything too crazy. All right, it's blocking the thing from going on, though. I can tell you that, the little cover here. But that's why it's off. All right, let's get the
Up in the corner.
Take hose on. Put it on the right way. All right. So it's got these little tabs here. There's little tabs. If you could see that down there, little tabs on the actual intake. So, your breather box, sorry. That's how you know you got it in right. All right, we'll get those tightened up first before.
You got the 5/16 up there.
What did I just do with that ratchet? I just
Right
had 90% of my job. Finding my tools. All right. Like I said, 5/16. Go the right way. Same thing with those guys. Do not want to over tighten and kill the heck out of those. All you're going to do is mess up your hose clamps, but it's still a pain in the butt because these actually have the little cutout to go, especially made for these. Pain in the butt to change them out, so you don't have to go too far with these. All right, that's good there. Reconnect our hoses. And be careful with this stuff. It's just plastic. The heat over time makes it real brittle. Use pliers that are way too big. Just regular slip joint pliers work better for this. Just whenever y'all do it. I'm just too lazy to go get them. There we go.
Duct tape works too.
These just push back into place. And you hear it click, and then you can give it a little pull. Make sure you got them on all the way. All right.
There you go.
Got some dielectric cleaner.
Wow.
QD electronic clean. So we're gonna clean up this terminal while we're here. Actually, let me take a rag and brush that off first so I don't make a complete mess. All right. It's not a bad idea. Because that could cause problems with all your sensors too. Bad connection on your battery. All right. We're going to tighten this back up. 8mm. All right. I think I'll take y'all off the tripod and we'll have Mike start it up. See if it made a difference. Hopefully she runs. All right, that's park. All right, park, AC on. Let's put her in drive. So, that's already doing better. That motor isn't shaking at all. And if you noticed before, this thing was going nuts. So, how's it look on the RPM gauge? Look better? So it's a lot higher on the RPMs. Before it was dropping and you could see the needle moving up and down. So,
Put it back
yeah.
in park.
And now it's only moving probably 100. Yeah, see it levels itself right back out, and that needle's holding steady. So I'd say that's a pretty good fix. And
probably help if we did a O-ring.
The new O-ring?
Yeah.
It should be sealed with that assembly loop for now.
But if you got it apart.
Yeah, if you have it apart, I would go ahead and replace that. O-ring can't be that much. It's just slipped our mind. We didn't even think about it. We honestly didn't know if it'd be a gasket or anything, so that's... Yeah, like I said, you can see it's holding steady now. She ain't moving at all. Let's drive. So maybe we'll jump in and take it around the block real quick and have them stop a few times, make sure everything's good. All right. So I'm going to take the 2012 Ford Escape around. We'll probably do a couple stops while it's in gear. And like you can see, we got it up to temp, so everything should be, if it's going to happen, this is when it's going to happen. So, but talking to Mike, he said he already notices a difference because you used to be able to feel it in the seat whenever you were at a dead stop and drive or reverse.
Used to be able to watch it in the hood shake.
And the whole hood would shake. Right now, pretty steady. So,
oh, that's a lot better.
Yeah, it's holding steady. And we are going to end up doing a, he said he's going to do a fuel treatment just in the tank because she doesn't drive it that much. Let me see if I get a better view of that RPM gauge. So yeah, before that needle was actually jumping and it's holding pretty steady. Like I said, we can feel a vibration in the seats, but like he said, you used to be able to sit there and see the hood shaking. It's holding.
Oh, it made a big difference.